What changes do you see when you come from the traditional ecosystem to the Web3 ecosystem?
So we've been building Bondex as the most trusted professional network in the world using Web3 and AI for 5 years. And in those 5 years, I've already seen the industry change a lot. When things find product market fit using blockchain, like stable coins, you get big companies out of it.
Hello everyone, this is Sudeep again from CoinGabbar, reporting live from Token2049 Asia edition, and joined with me Ignacio from Bondex.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here.
Great to have you here. So Ignacio, you directly did not start your career with Web3, it seems.
Definitely not. No, I started...
We would like to understand about your earlier career in the industry, your footsteps into the Web3 ecosystem, and what made the transition happen.
Got it. So I started my career in traditional finance. I was working in the mergers and acquisitions group within investment banking at HSBC in London. And I focused in the financial institutions group. So fintech and banks was my specialty. And I was 4 years in, this was 2017, 2018. I had heard about Bitcoin, but never paid attention to it. And I was doing due diligence for the ventures team of the bank. And I was actually doing digital banks. And this was when Revolut and Monster started, but there was also a competitor called N26. And there was a crypto neobank. And I read about it and I went down the crypto rabbit hole, became an investor, and I came down on the other side after that first bull cycle, a builder.
Right.
So that's what inspired me at first, like many other, a little bit of speculation. But really, once you dive deep into it, for me was, okay, this is the next computing revolution. I'm gonna miss out. It was the equivalent of, I guess, if you're a banker, maybe in the late 1990s, you see the dot-com boom, and you transition careers, right? And here I am more than 10 years later, very happy to have joined the Web3 space.
So Web3 space, what changes do you see when you come from the traditional ecosystem to the Web3 ecosystem, apart from the tech part? I mean, the culture on the whole, the working perspective, the shift in the work culture, and especially about the quick development of the space. I mean, you think of something, you get some agency tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, you're having a product in your hand.
So we've been building Bondex as the most trusted professional network in the world using Web3 and AI for 5 years. And in those 5 years, I've already seen the industry change a lot, and I'm happy to report.
Maturing a lot, I must say.
I'm happy to report it's maturing a lot in terms of its work practices. If I'm looking 5 years ago or even before, I would say that some of the biggest differences would be it could be a little bit more polished and professional when it comes to people acting, maybe too much emphasis on making a quick dollar versus a longer term career. A bit of an ADHD casino culture that I think it's now being replaced by longer term views. And this is because institutions are coming and hiring Web3 talent, and a lot more people from traditional backgrounds like myself are coming into the industry and bringing some of their best practices from the old paradigm into this new industry. And I think it's affecting it in a very positive way.
So the lifespan of projects, I must say, has increased. The Web3 projects has increased from 6 year, 1 year to a 10-year horizon. Because everybody thought, let us do it in 6 months. But now people are having a 10-year horizon in mind and thinking, what would I build out of it?
Because it's looking more like traditional venture, in which you have lockups for a longer time. Some of the issues that we had since the 2017 ICO craze were founders and people in the VC and the investors were getting rich before the product or the service got product market fit or a sustainable business.
Even a POC, they were getting rich.
Correct. And now everyone's caught up. Okay, well, that doesn't actually work. It's not sustainable, right? And therefore we need to build businesses for the long term. And I'm happy to say this is one of the biggest shifts that I'm seeing now. And when things find product market fit using blockchain, like stable coins, you get big companies out of it, like Circle, for example.
What I've also seen is that, these things, these early bad, our rotten tomatoes, we can say, have brought a very bad name to the industry. That is why most of the people still call crypto a scam, because they have been the ones not performing well, using their vested interest, keeping their vested interest above the industry. And that is why we are not able to still build the trust to the public by and large.
So this is one of the tragedies from when I've left banking and I was like, this is the next computer revolution. What are we going to do with this blockchain explosion? 10 years later, there's clearly two divided camps. People that are here to push the edge and want to enable this next computing revolution and Web3, read by their own. and the other side, which is the casino. Let's make a bar, right? Quick and fast. And they are not even happy when you make money and you haven't earned it. You don't even value it, right? It's another philosophical question. But the casino camp has always been way too big, and that's where the bad actors happen and the bad incentives. And then we've shot ourselves in the foot, like with a big meme coin cycle or NFTs, and then hype comes, people take advantage, and you're burning your next round of users because you've taken money away from them, and they're the victims of the rug pulling, right?
Right.
And we're shooting ourselves in the foot. But I'm happy to say that in the last year, because of the change of policy in the US, right, the environment is changing, and the social perception of crypto and blockchain is changing. And it's the best ambassadors that we could have. And now, we need to be responsible with this now because they're helping us. So let's keep this positive momentum and build on this wave of trust that we're having by building great products and services and make people's lives better without extracting value from that, right? It's in our hands now, right? The genie's out of the bottle, the momentum's in our favor. Let's not screw it up this time.
But one thing I'll tell you from being from the media side and having that perspective, is that with education, with so many things happening, people have started understanding. The public by and large has started understanding this is a utility project, this is a meme token. So when they enter into it, when they enter into casino, when they enter into meme, they know what the risks are.
This is such a good point. Expectations are key. And now, but you're still talking about we're talking about mass adoption versus basically we've enlarged the number of people who are now crypto native and have done their research. And this is normal within the curve of adoption, right? We're now more than 10 years in. So yes, people are going into the meme cycle and they know it's a casino and they know the risk, and they probably have shifted their expectations.
They don't drive when they are burnt out.
Exactly. But my hope to enable mass adoption is actually more about, it's not that people need to do research, it's that blockchain needs to become so simple to use that people don't realize that this use has blockchain in it, right? Once we get there, then we get to the mass adoption, because actually explaining technology to people doesn't really work, right? You need to explain, you need to sell a feeling, you need to sell.
You just need them to work on Microsoft Office and Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. You don't need to tell them how the code looks like.
Exactly. That's not how Windows,
Yeah.
Steve Jobs sold a computer as a bicycle for the mind. He wasn't about, explaining to someone what a CPU was. In the blockchain industry, we were like trying to explain to people what the technology is instead of the feature.
They're more interested in products.
Exactly, the features and the magic that this technology can provide you. I think now, for stable coins being one of them, it's like, hey, get your money across the world faster and cheaper than you would with a remittance, right? It's clear, right? That's why it's getting, it's one of the proven product market fits in crypto. And so I think that's what we're seeing. The infrastructure is getting so easy, and the UX UI is getting so much easier to use, and we're going to have mass adoption due to the fact that blockchain is going to, abstract these complexities from the end consumer, and that's what's going to enable mass adoption.
So that's on the adoption side. Coming back to Bondex. So you're saying it's a network. What kind of network you're targeting, and what exactly is the genesis of this particular build-up?
Right. So we started the company to build a Web3 LinkedIn killer, because we really believe that one of the killer use cases of blockchain is coordination, disintermediation, incentive alignment. And when it comes to talent markets, there's a lot of inefficiencies, a lot of middlemen, a lot of value extraction. 5 years in, I think that feels a little naive that was our mission. But what we're using blockchain now in a very practical way is to verify credentials. Well, two ways actually. One is to verify credentials. Think of it as, to make it really simple, background checks that you do on your resume ahead of time. So you go from an unverified PDF or a LinkedIn profile to a verified digital reputation. And this is the evolution of a resume. And this is really a passport for the future of work, which is here today. It's crazy that we're still using PDFs or filtering it through resumes.
So proof of work in a professional manner.
There you go. Because it's crazy we're still filtering through resumes 2025, right? And what do I mean by the future of work is here? COVID accelerated the remote digital revolution, and now we have AI here. So the future of work is here. We cannot rely on this outdated infrastructure of PDF resumes for this, right? Job is becoming increasingly fractional. You have it fragmented across the internet on all these platforms like freelancer marketplaces or LinkedIn, etc. So what we're building is a passport for the future of work to enable a trusted professional network. And that enables peer-to-peer exchange of time, skill, labors, and money, right?
That's a fair point.
And that's Bondex.
So I've just, out of context, I'll state one thing. I've heard a person who, wrote a very big position in a particular company. Company was a smaller one. Like he worked there for 8 years. He showed it. And he showed it by the way of a website. And the company never had a website. This person made a website to fake his CV of the company, which was never online. It was a basic manufacturing company. They did not need a website. So he made a website. That website was running good, and the company got to know of it 3 years later that we even have a website. Wow, that's somebody made it. And that's when this person was caught that he faked his resume, that he worked with this company for 8 years. So, this is something that can be proven with the use case of blockchain, because, if it is on chain, it is authentic. It is authenticated not only by the person, the identity is confirmed, the experience is confirmed. You cannot just put random things and into perspective. I've seen many people creating fake company pages on LinkedIn, so that later on, and that's when LinkedIn brought the policy of upload the registration certificate, because a lot of people were faking it. So Web 2 is evolving, but I think the rate of evolution is pretty fast as compared to Web 2 in the Web 3 ecosystem. So that brings me to the fast-paced development of the Web 3 ecosystem. And what you perceive, what you envision, and what you produce in a Web 2 company in like 3 years, we have 3 years, 5 years horizon. In Web 3, we have 3 months and 6 months horizons. So what is the horizon of Bondex? Say in 6 months from now, in a year from now, and if you have envisioned it, something bigger coming up in, let's say, 3 years from now.
So what we built is an incredible platform, right? And we've already bootstrapped the first, I would say, or we've already reached the critical mass of users. But now, what we've done is M&A. We've used our traditional background and we've purchased Web3 careers, the largest global jobs or job board in the world. And that bootstraps the demand side of the marketplace. So my vision for the next 12 months is fully cornering the entire talent market in Web3.
Great.
What I want to do beyond that is, this is a perfect, let's say, sandbox to perfect a product, an industry that has short horizons of work, that is fragmented, very project-based, but it's also full of mistrust, right? And therefore, if you're building the most trusted professional network in the world, this is one of the toughest case studies to solve for. And if you solve it for here and you create a really robust professional network in this industry, you're going to take the Web 2 and just traditional digital global labor market by force. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to prove and finalize cornering. We've already done we already have product market fit, we're revenue generating, but we're now in full expansion mode, cornering the market, and from here expanding into the rest of the traditional and general economy.
That's great. It's great to talk to you, Ignacio, because, I've heard about Bondex, frankly. I saw it, I followed the project, but seeing it come directly from the founder's side and with the perspective and exactly understanding where the product is going is of essence, especially being a media company. As a person, I very much follow and concur with the path that you're following for Bondex, but definitely we would bring this thing to our users as to where we are going and where this industry is going when it comes to the validation of things and how blockchain as a technology is beautifully being used in all the aspects of life. And that is the essence of why we are in the Web3 space, right?
That's why we're here to push the envelope. And again, now it's about using blockchain for things that bring value to people's lives.
Right.
And in the case of a professional network, it's all about, and jobs, it's all about trust. And using blockchain as a trust layer so we can verify who people are and what they've done, so they can get access to better economic opportunities and jobs. And so that on the other side, the companies can get the highest quality talent in the most efficient way.
That's great. So guys, this was Ignacio from Bondex. We shared some good insights about how a professional network in the Web3 ecosystem looks like. Definitely not the LinkedIn killer, but definitely a more secured, more structured, and more verified version of Web3 ecosystem when it comes to professional profiling and the work experience. And with this, I sign off for this particular session. We'll keep bringing you more interesting stuff from Token 2049 Asia Edition. This is Sudeep from CoinGabbar with Ignacio from Bondex signing off. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.